All right, this is what your Canvas page will look like. I'm going to click over to Student View. Mine looks a little different. Yours should look like this, except it will not have the pink at the bottom, okay? This right here are important, okay? Attendance link. When you're working remotely, so that will be the rest of this week, and then the other weeks that you're at home and not here, you have to click on this link and complete this form. If you do not do it daily, you'll be counted absent, okay? So this form will always be there. You just go in, you put your name, first and last name. You're going to just tell me one thing that you've learned. Tell me if you have any issues and submit. Okay? So when you're done with that, you just click on the home button. Modules in IXL and Clever, I'm going to hide. You'll only have home and grades. If you need to book an appointment with me, so the weeks you're working at home, you're having trouble, in the afternoons I have hours or 15-minute slots blocked off. You click here, and there's directions. You're going to click on this link and click on the day. So like say tomorrow, you would see if they pop up here, there are times available. Like today, there's no time. Well, it won't let me click on today, but there was no times available because we have one with all the remote students today. So if it was on the 19th, notice I have three times here. So you just click on it. It'll tell you what to fill out. You fill it out, click submit, and it'll send you an invite with a Google link. Okay. Now we can use that Google link, or on this one, you have to go back. You can click the home button if I have one there. I didn't put one on the other screen, or this home here, or we can always click on this one. So on this link, this is every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're at home, for first block, it'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1:30 to 2. I'll be on this Google link here, and we can meet and address anything that you're having trouble with at home. So the weeks that you're at home. This is what you can use for the time that we meet or the link that's sent. If you click on one and I'm not there, you can try the other. But that's always on Canvas. So if I have a home button, you can click there. Otherwise, click on the home. And so those are always going to be there. Okay? Each of these are units that we'll cover. And we're going to start, those are set up. You're going to have, notice I put the weeks up here and dates. So this is going to be your lesson page, and this is going to be your assessment for that week's of the lessons, okay?
So is that the online?
Huh?
Is that the online school part?
It's for everybody. I'm treating both groups the same. We're going to do the same thing. We might do some things different in here, but everything that'll be a do is going to be done in Canvas. So when you click on e-lessons, you'll just start at the top and you'll work your way down. All right. And so we're going to talk about expectations. That might be about as far as we get. It didn't go where I wanted. Oh, that's goals. If you want to see the goals, that's that first link. I didn't send that back to the right spot. All right, syllabus. This is a lot of reading, so I'm going to try to go through just the highlights. This first little part tells you about the course. Biology is required for graduation. It also, if they do state testing, it's an EOC course. So it's one that weights heavier for how schools and teachers are doing. So it's the final exam doesn't work into the school grade as much as an EOC. So it's an EOC course. Attendance. Remember, if you're at home, so the rest of this week, you need to go in and do the attendance form. And even face to face, we're going to try to do everything on Canvas as long as it's working, okay, to keep it the same. So whatever we're doing here, the people at home can do whatever and stuff like that.
Is there a specific time we have to log into the attendance link?
Before the end of the day.
Just before the end of the day?
Yes. But if you don't do something every day, you're going to get behind.
I have a question. Would you consider end of the day like evening time or?
Well, the new day starts at 12 a.m. So it has to be before 12 a.m. But you have assignments that if you wait to the last minute, you're not going to be able to get them all done. So for Google Meets, you go to that link on the Canvas page. And remember, you guys, Tuesday and Thursday, 1:30 to 2, I'll be on Google Meets where I can answer questions if you have it. And especially for my remote students, this is required, fully remote. But those of you that are on remote week, it would be probably good for you to check in, and especially if you have it, if you're stuck, so I can help you out. You have one calendar week to make sure all activities are submitted. Okay, so when I put the dates above, it's like I try to do it about a week, maybe 3 or 4 days at a time. And if you miss something, you have 7 calendar days to get it in before we put in like a 0. Okay? You have until the end of the 9 weeks to get it in if you want any credit at all. Okay? Once the 9 weeks ends, whatever you have it done that 9 weeks is finished.
If you turn it in like the late days,
Uh,
how much do you take off?
I haven't come up with an exact amount yet, but you have 7 days there before it's really considered true late. It could be like a letter grade, so if you made a B on the assignment, it might end up being a C. If you're having issues submitting assignment, you need to let me know. I was hoping to be able to go through some of these so you could actually see how the different submissions work, but with Canvas not working, that's going to be a problem. And I already said, whatever we do here, the remote kids are doing the exact same thing. So I'm keeping it the same. So we're going to be working through Canvas. Any assignments other than tests or quizzes is 45% of your grade, and test and quizzes are 55%. So you need to take everything serious and do that. All right, so remote here. You log into Canvas each day. There may not be a daily discussion activity, but for the lesson, there's usually a discussion activity. It is best if you can work at least 60 to 75 minutes on each class a day to keep up. You've got to treat it like school. So I would keep the same schedule at home and work the times you would work here. And if you do that, then you're done at 1 o'clock. And it'll keep you on task. Email, text me if you need help. I may not be able to answer until after 1 p.m. because I'll be in classes. You've got assigned seat. Remember social distancing. We can't line up at the door because of that. So when the bell rings, try to keep about 6 of those blocks between you. That's about, each one's about a foot. All work is going to be completed on Chromebook and submitted via Canvas. You're expected to work and complete all assignments. I won't go over the rest of that. And so that's your syllabus. And notice I have little arrows up here that should take you back to the correct page. And so you'll want to read through that again because the assessment for this will have some questions from that syllabus. When you get your phones back, Remind, I found worked really well last year. So here's how you sign up for Remind. So I strongly suggest you do this. So if you can text, the number is 81010. If you text @to Noel class, that joins you to that. But like I said, once you can get into Canvas, you can see this here. And that way, and when you do that, just send me kind of a text that says, hey, this is Scott. Hey, this is Henry, just so I know. I don't see the numbers. And that way I can get an idea of who's who, because I don't know if it lets you put, attach a name to it or not when you text it.
Put contacts and just change that.
Okay. Is that through the app part or?
You can just do that on your phone.
Okay. So there's remind, and then you go back. And then down here were the things that we were going to do. So this first one you're going to have to do at home because we can't get into Canvas, but I'm going to email you the link in just a minute for the form. This is called a discussion. So what you do is you read this, and then you'll click reply, and you'll type your information, and then you will, once you submit, you'll see others post, and you need to reply to one other student. So if I put my stuff in here, you're to introduce yourself. You are to tell me your home school. So what district are you coming from? What grade are you classified as? And one goal you have for the semester, and tell me at least one thing about your summer, something you may have done that was exciting. It may have been just work, I don't know. Once you submit, so you would type it here, you would post reply, then you would see others, and when others have posted, you're going to respond to one person, and you're just, at least. So you're going to read theirs, and you're going to say something like, maybe somebody went to a place in the mountains that you didn't know existed, and maybe you say, oh, that sounds like a fun trip, or something like that. Just don't put hey and be done, okay? Come up with some response, all right? Try to avoid the next and stuff down here because it can get confusing. Just go back here. So, and you should see this form. Yes, you should find biology. All right, now you got to put your mask back on. This, for those that are going to be watching the video, mine doesn't pop up what you will see. So in this area here, a video will pop up, and you will mash play on the video. And if you've used Edpuzzle before, you'll watch the video. There'll be questions that pop up, and you answer as you go through. You're going to do that one at home because we're going to do something else about this in just a minute. So that one you're going to do at home for my A group. If you look here, once you've watched the video, here is another assignment type. And when this one opens, notice it's opened in Kami. Are you familiar with Kami? How to use it? All right, over here is a text box, text tool. You'll click on it, and then wherever you click, it puts a box for you to type an answer, okay? And so you'll keep clicking, and you'll type your answers for this sheet, but you have to have listened to the video first. Then up here on your side where it says save, it'll say submit assignment. You'll click there. It'll pop up another box for you to submit, and then you can submit it, and it goes right into Canvas. You're going to have to do it this week because you'll need to watch the video first, and I want to talk about some stuff first before we get there. Yeah. Then here's a concept map. And the first time you try to access Google Drive, you may get a page that says authenticate. You have to authenticate. You'll click authenticate, and then you'll click allow, and then you'll be able to access the page. It won't show up here, but anytime you're in Canvas and it pops up authenticate, please authenticate and allow, and then you'll be able to see it.
Will it do that on a different laptop?
It may, because it's a part of Chrome, it's giving Canvas permission to talk to your Google Drive. And so it's very important you do that. Here, this is going to load the activity in another window. Now, when this opens, oh, that is so small. Well, look right here. There's a magnifying glass. I'll go to 100%. And then after we've done everything, you're going to drag these boxes, the text boxes, to these certain areas to get them to where you think they're right. And then there should be a submit button that should show up here. And you click it and it automatically submits. Okay? Then you can close this out and you're back here. And that leaves this last part right here. I'm not going to go into this one. When you get to this last assignment, I'm going to try to have a video up on there. You may want to watch that video before you do this last one, okay? All right. I'm going to switch over now to, I want to review real quick some information, and you don't have to take notes. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do this, but if you need to see this, it'll be a part of that video that I'm going to post, and you'll just fast forward to this part here. But scientific inquiry is just our review for scientific method. Science class, we need to review it and know each step as we go through. I'm not sure what's going on here. I hit my cable. Basically, scientific method is how scientists explore the world through observations and answering questions. Now, not all areas of science can do this easily. So if I were in astronomy, I can't study the life cycle of a star in a lab. I can't do that directly. I have to do other innovative type experiments to indirectly study that. I can't study how dinosaurs digested their food going through this scientific method because dinosaurs aren't in existence anymore. But biology and others, we can usually do the scientific method. And this is one reason why getting a vaccine for coronavirus is taking a while, is they have to go through all this experimentation and they have to test it and retest it and all this stuff. So, and normally it takes years for something like that, and they're trying to rush it in months. So science is a slow process. But the goal's the same, whatever type you're in. We're looking for a cause and effect relationship by asking questions, gathering, and examining. And I bet this isn't recording because I don't have my thing. Now I have my thing, okay. New information is going to be gained from the experimentation. It's not linear, so at any point you can go back through it. So everybody should know these steps. These are the slides that's going to help you do the concept map. So that's why you may want to go back here. So you always start, you've observed something, you ask a question. You have to do some research. Has something already been done on it? Has the experiment, was it successful? Did it fail? Were there issues? What did they do wrong? What worked well? To help you find the best way to do an experiment so that you don't repeat mistakes that others have made. You construct a hypothesis. It's if the independent variable, which is the cause, then whatever the effect is, the dependent variable. So it's your prediction. You design and test the experiment. So you're going to test one variable at a time. It's the independent variable, so you have a fair test. Measurable. So, measurable is the dependent variable. You're measuring the effect. And then anything else is kept the same. Now, this is where you've heard about the whole hydrochloroquine. It's supposed to be a good medicine to help with the COVID. Well, the issue is a lot of the tests that people have done they haven't followed this procedure here. So for some people, it may work, but if you don't have a control group to compare it to, it's not very reliable. So doctors can prescribe it. It's not that they can't, they can, but it's not necessarily the only cure or the only treatment that's out there. Why people have issues with it is the test wasn't reliable, the studies that have been done so far. Always repeat. You've got to repeat your experiment. You have to record all procedures, materials, so it can be repeated. You use data tables. Analyzing your data. This is where you're looking at the data, you're making graphs, charts, trying to see, does it support your hypothesis? Even if it supports, you're retesting. If it's not supported, you may be going back, changing your hypothesis, retesting, or realizing mistakes that were made to redo it, and then you're always communicating. So this was a quick review. This is going to be needed to help you do that concept map, okay? And I may post this as well, separate from the video, but to help, that's what you need to do. And then I'll put a separate video about how to do this last part up here so that you can watch, because I'll probably guide people through that one. And you'll want to go along with the video for the CER one, okay? All right. The only other thing down here is you'll want to eventually join the Quizlet class. And this just lists some other things that we may be using. So let me stop this.